I see you shiver with anticipation.
Welcome back, everyone. I'm Shinigami Tabris, and we're going to be sailing the seas. But first off, I'm going to do this loot crate thing. Corp, thank you for your Prime subscription. I think he's in my headset, too. I'm not 100% on that.
Yeah, I am.
I've got quite an interesting day to talk about. It was Friday. I had to take the day off for personal reasons from my day job for something else, and we'll get into that in a few minutes. But let's open this wonderful loot crate, see what the hell we get in it, and go from there. Right off the bat, I'm already in love with it. It's going to be one of the first loot crates in a while that I'm like, yes. First off, we've got Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles magnet set. 8-bit turtle power. I'm actually, for like I said, right off the bat, instantly enjoy that. Next, from Gremlins, the action figure Loot Crate exclusive of Stripe. The bad guy for Gremlins. Don't get wet. Don't introduce the sun. Don't feed after midnight. It actually has those little things on the corner. That's hilarious. Ooh, the t-shirt. So we only get 3 things. That's sort of, this is where I'm upset with Loot Crate, but at the same time, like, this was a really good Loot Crate for 3 items. Like, if you could be banger like this every time, Loot Crate, I wouldn't be upset. Batman and Robin, the Teen Wonder t-shirt, like old school 1980s Batman. That's awesome. I absolutely love it. And then for our loot pin, it's the Joker smile. That's like I said, this for 3 items was a banger Loot Crate for the fact of like what's in it. I have not opened a Loot Crate that I was like so stoked about in so long, and that's saying something. Like a lot of the Loot Crates have been very lackluster, and when you only get 3 items, like, it can't be lackluster. It has to be a banger. Good job, Loot Crate. You redeemed yourself for once in a very long time. Now we're going to hop on to the seas. And while we're doing the seas, we'll discuss my crazy Friday and talk to Corb some more and see how his Friday went and what's going on for the weekends. So, first off for you, buddy.
Going on for me this weekend.
Do what?
So there's a lot going on for me this weekend.
Oh, dude. So let me start off by crazy fucking Friday today. I had to make a trip. I own a house in another state. It's about a 4-hour drive for me to get to said house. It used to be my grandparents'. The house is in mine and my dad's name. It also still has, like, my grandfather's name on it. For screw-up reasons of the city. The city that it's in, if I did not have my grandfather's name, even though he's deceased, on the deed, I actually have... I have to do, like, a crap ton of work to that house. And it's not that there's anything wrong with the home, but it gets grandfathered into stuff because he's owned the home for so long. And if it gets transferred to new owners, like,
then you have a bunch of fucking ordinances you have to follow by inheriting it.
Yes. So it's one of those, I'd rather not deal with those if I don't have to.
Let it belong to the estate.
Yeah.
That sucks.
So, anyways, so we've had this home for years. When I say years, like, I think he passed away in, like, what was it? 2005, 2004, somewhere around there. And it's one of those that, like, we used to rent it. We've had some good renters. We've had some bad renters. We've had some really, like, awkward moments. But my dad finally, like, he called me a couple of weeks ago, and he's like, hey, somebody has found our number and called us about buying the house. And I'm like, okay.
Take some effort, man.
Yeah, oh yeah. And he's like, so I'm thinking like we might actually like hear him out. And I'm like, okay. He goes, but I don't want to like make a trip for no reason. And I was like, right. What's the offer? And he goes, well, they first started with the standard offer. And I will admit, the home's built in 1953, 52, something like that. It is a starter home. It is a 2 bedroom, 1 bath, kitchen, living room. Um, it's in a well-established city. That way I'm not giving away where it's at and everything. Um, that's an older city, but it's also very close to downtown, which also has some bad neighborhoods. Um, with all of that, a lot of people have we've gotten these weird offers like postcards and whatnot. And I know if you've ever owned a home, that especially an older one, a lot of people have seen them where you get a postcard in and it's like, we'll buy your home, blah blah blah. Even if you're living in it, they'll send you those postcards.
Dude, I'm already getting fucking things on reverse mortgage. I'm like, fuck off. I
Right.
just bought the house.
So you're getting reverse mortgage. So imagine somebody that owns the home outright. So what we get is we'll buy your home, and like they will give these like ridiculously shitty numbers. And typically when I say shitty numbers, like we'll buy your home for 18,000. So you see where it's like ridiculously like, what the hell? You really think somebody's gonna? I guess somebody does sell it, and it might be, someone sort of in my situation but needing money, where you have a rental and you're in dire need of money, maybe. But like, Jesus Christ. So we ignore a lot of those. So when the guy calls and he starts with his first offer, I want to say my dad said his first offer was still above those, but not by much, by saying like, "Hey, I'll give you 20,000 for it." And my dad sort of balked at him and was like, "Yeah, whatever." Um, and the guy called back and was like, "Hey, we can come up. What would it take for you to sell me that house?" And he goes, "Well, let me think about it, and I'll get back to you." So he called the guy back a few weeks ago, and he's like, "Look, we know that like the home's in a little bit of disrepair. Um, this, and this. Uh, would you
You're just gonna
take?"
end up fucking flipping it at that.
Oh no, we know exactly. That's what they're gonna do. Is they're gonna end up flipping it. Um, would you? And again, it's a low number. And a lot of people are going to balk, but that's what homes are actually going. This number I'm about to say is what homes actually go for in this neighborhood on a regular basis. We were like, "Can you do 35,000?" And he's like, "I can't do that without seeing the home, like going in it and making sure that the floors are in good condition and all this other stuff." And we're like, "Okay, we got you." So
Dude,
like,
you're gonna have to tell me what neighborhood this is later.
yeah,
'Cause I'm curious.
I'll send
Jesus.
you I'll send you a link to the actual address and all.
Okay, I was gonna say, because like I'm thinking like, dude, I live in you know the rough area where I live in, and like there's like I think a 2 bedroom, 2 bath that's like right down the street from me. Some asshole's selling for fucking almost $250,000. I'm like, the fuck are you on, dude?
Okay, so I'll get into some of that in a second of why it's so cheap. But the guy, first off, we're like, wow, the guy said, sure, he just wants to see the inside. So my dad makes a deal, like, we'll come up and show him the house. And I have to go in case he wants to sign paperwork. I have to be there to sign it because it is in my name. So we get up there. Today's trip starts. First off, it's hot as fuck. It's a 4.5 hour journey that I'm about to make with my father, which being in the car with my father
Thoughts?
sometimes can be,
Tolling.
yes. And I love my dad to death, but like, Jesus Christ, there are times where no.
Yeah, shut up.
Um, to make it even worse, he's decided he's going to bring his dog, which doesn't get bathed as often as it should, and I am
Oh,
highly allergic to like a lot of pet dander, which means this dog is just covered in it. Well, we get in the car, we get going, the air conditioner works. I'm like, thank fucking God. We stop to get breakfast because we leave that early in the morning that we're getting breakfast.
dog
And,
out in the car?
huh?
And you left the dog out in the car?
Oh, no. Like, when I say stop to get breakfast, we drive through.
I have to say, dear God, you have the ASPCA after your ass.
So we go through the drive through. My dad rolls down the window, gets
They're
our
not fucking
food.
ASPCA, PETA. Fucking ASPCAs for humans.
Um,
God damn it.
we get our food. As he starts to drive off, he goes, "My window won't go up." And I go, "We'll pull over and we'll fix it." I think I can get it to go up as we're driving. I'm like, "Pull over and we'll fix it." What does he do? He does not pull over. We continue this drive. Now, we make this wonderful 4.5 hour journey with the windows down because his will not come up.
There's nothing worse than the sound of just one window down.
Right, exactly. So
Fucking-
that's the reason all of the windows get put down. So we're making this long journey in the fucking heat. Now, not only do we have heat, we also have hot dog. And I don't mean like the edible that is somewhat tasty. I'm talking like nasty smelling hot dog.
What do you want to do, buddy?
I don't care.
I was
Throw-
gonna say golden glory. That's all I'm thinking.
Merchant?
I was gonna say it's probably gonna end up all going to Reapers regardless, but
Oh, yeah, we could, but do you want to do... We could do merchant and, like, really cash out. Or we could do, oh, never mind, we're not going to put up a, there's already a Reaper on the server. Let's do a vault.
I'll do a vault.
Yeah,
I'll grab
let's
one real
do-
quick.
Yeah. So anyway, so we got hot dog smell for 4.5 hour journey. We get up there to the house. It's actually a good trip. He reminisces about, you know, traveling and whatnot, and I actually enjoy some of his stories of like him because this is the town he went to college in. So I get college stories. So hearing my dad like being a fucking college goon is hilarious. Because he was not just a college goon, he was a college goon that hung out with the entire like university football team that and some of those stories I can get to some of those later, and I'm so glad I don't know any of the guys' names so that they can't get in trouble. But yeah, so we get up to the house, we get out. He goes to go unlock the door, and he goes, "Wait, I can't find the keys.
You're
I
fucking kidding me.
left them in Alabama." And I'm
You
like,
guys had to go back for the fucking keys.
"Oh, I'm not about to make a 4-hour journey just for the keys. Don't care."
You broke into the house.
So I start calling a locksmith because I don't really want to break into the house. I want to like do this. We're trying to sell it. We definitely don't want to bust a door down. We don't want to do any extra damage if we're trying to sell it.
Here's my house. Oh, don't mind the broken window. I forgot my keys 4 hours
Away. Yeah.
away.
Fucking hell. So we get to. I'm like, I call a couple of locksmiths. They run me around saying, "Well, we don't have anybody to open a door today, or we don't do that anymore. We only do this. We only do cars, or we only do this." And they keep sending me to different locksmiths.
We only do easy shit.
Yeah. Oh, especially ready for it. There's a deadbolt. That's one, and two, a master lock padlock that holds the door shut.
Really?
Yep.
Dude, you could have probably fucking gotten a piece of, like a stick and gotten that master lock off.
So anyways, oh no, it's one of the high end master locks.
Okay. I was gonna say, because some of those master locks,
Oh
you
yeah,
can
no,
pick,
no.
like, you just literally just fucking go.
I mean, I've watched a dude like pick one before and like pick the exact one that I have and pick it pretty quickly. But
Yeah. Dude, it's kind of disgusting. A lot of the master locks, all they need is a fucking rake, and that's it.
yeah, pretty much.
Like, that's it. That's fucking it.
So anyways, here's the kicker though. None of the places will come and unlock our doors because we have no mail or any way to prove that we are the owners of the home other than the fact that the deed on the internet says our name. And they say we can't take that. And I'm just like, so what? So it becomes one of those that I'm like, okay, I guess we're going back home, and we'll just have to come back up here on another day to do this. And he's like, no, I'll think of something. And I'm like, you better start thinking of something, because I really don't want to come back up here another day for something that we could have done today. And I'm like, so while you think about this, I'm going to like do some paperwork for my job and make some phone calls for my job. I will be over in the corner under the shade, because no matter where I'm at, whether it's in the shade or in the car or whatever, it's hot. He calls my mother and is talking to my mother, and randomly I hear him go, I gotta get off the phone. I just remembered something. I gotta get off the phone. And the next thing I know, he comes around the corner with the keys to the house in his hands.
Dad, where were the keys?
They were in the
Yeah.
car.
Dad, where were the keys?
I would love to know where he had like stowed them and everything, but whatever. I'm just happy we're now getting into the place. So he calls the people. He'd already called them and said, well, we might not be able to let you in because we forgot the keys at our house. And we're idiots. And I'm like, So he has to call back and tell them, like, okay, we're still on if you can make it out here. They're like, okay, we'll be a little later because we were starting to reroute ourselves somewhere else, but we'll be out there shortly. And we're like, okay. So I clean up the house a little bit, give a little once over with the broom, make it a little bit more presentable. Guy shows up, and as he shows up, my neighbor pulls up that I do not know. It's like a new neighbor. I know the neighbor so like if you're facing the house, I know my neighbor on the left. I don't know my neighbor on the right. And I still thought it was like, it used to be owned by a little Asian gentleman. I don't know what actual nationality he was. I thought it was still owned by that gentleman. Come to find out, he actually sold it. Ooh, that's a green gem below us.
Nice.
But the Asian gentleman actually sold his house. Are you gonna get down here and help me break this? He sold the house to a different gentleman who actually says, when he sees that I'm out there, he's like, are you the owner of the home? And I'm like, yeah. We've been trying to figure out, me and my father have been trying to figure out how to get a hold of you. We are interested in buying your home. And I said, well, that's a good thing. We're here showing the home to somebody else. Oh, well, I don't want to get in a bidding war. I'm like, that's fine. We're not looking for a bidding war. We're just looking like we have a set price in our head. If that gentleman will not meet it, we'll offer it to you, and you can say yes or no. It's as far as we're going with this. He goes, okay. So the first gentleman looks at the house. He hem-haws, and like basically me and my father both think that the dude is like not happy with what the house looks like and is not going to like give us what we've offered, what we've asked for. And we're like, hey, we'll offer it to the other gentleman and see what he says. If he's willing to take that offer, like, cool. We can say, look, another person said they'd give us what we wanted, and like not really be hurt.
No harm, no foul.
Yeah. So we call my neighbor back. He gave me a business card, and he had like gone down the road to do something. We call him back and say, hey, the first gentleman's gone. Do you want to still come look over at the house? He says, sure. Comes out, looks at the house, and he goes, well, what are you asking? And let me also preface this. My neighbor owns his house. 2 houses down on the opposite side of me, or from me, is his father, and a house down from that is his uncle. So, like, there are 3 family members that live on this road already.
So they're literally just trying to buy up the street.
Right. And this neighborhood that we're in is an old neighborhood like that, where it is like mostly people that are family members. So we're like, okay, we get it. And we go, okay, we want 30,000. And he goes, how do you want it? Cash? Bank transfer? What? And then we go, do what? He goes, do you want it in cash? I could get it in cash. I really don't want to go get a duffel bag and get you a cash, like 30,000 in cash, but we can. And I'm like,
that doesn't sound shady as fuck at all.
what the hell did I just walk into?
Drugs.
No. The gentleman and his father own a brick mortar company.
Oh, so money laundering.
Like, they legit go out and put up houses and stuff like that. Made of brick and so forth. So, it makes sense that they have that type of cash.
Oh yeah, definitely. That shit's not freaking cheap, dude.
And we thought he was joking. He goes, I have to talk to my dad about it, but like, if my dad can come see it, how do I need to tell him that? And we were like, we don't know, cash and money order, whatever's good, as long as it's like legal tender, and not some, peso or something like that. And the guy laughs about it, and he goes, okay, well, my dad will be back. He's out at a site right now. He'll be back here in about 30-40 minutes. He also wants to eat lunch, so like I'll see you around. At this point, it's well in the afternoon. He goes, I'll see you around 3, and we're like, yeah, around 3. So we go to get lunch. At like 2:15, he calls us back and he goes, yeah, we're ready to see the house. And I'm like, it's going to be about 10 to 15 minutes. Like, we're still trying to eat lunch. We just got food.
In what world do you think 3 o'clock is 2:15, sir?
Yeah, exactly. And like, he said 3 o'clock at like 1:45. So like at 2:15, we've had just enough time to drive away, get food. We're eating. And again, we're eating in the car because we got the dog with us. And we get a phone call of like, hey, come on back to the house that you just left so that we can, like, look at the house. And the dad walks down to the house, looks at it, and the father, and both of these gentlemen are of Latino descent. And the
There's
father...
phantoms here, by the way.
There's what? Oh, Phantoms.
Phantoms.
The father looks at the house and, like, in really broken English, goes, okay, 15,000 cash. And my dad's like, no, 30, 30, and he goes, and then 15,000 money order. And we're like, what? We good? And we're like, wait, you legit want to just, like, do this now? And he goes, we go do paperwork. And I do not know how in the world the dude has a realtor on speed dial at 3 in the afternoon on a Friday that will do any paperwork, but he had one. Because we show up at that realtor's office, and they're like, okay, fill out this paper. If you, this will pull the deed and do this and that to verify that you own the home and so forth. And we're like, okay. And my dad's just sort of dumbfounded of, okay, so, like, we legit sold this home not thinking we were going to today. Granted, we do have to go back and finish up paperwork because they do have to wait for some stuff to go through. Well, on the way home, this is the best part. The first gentleman calls back and goes,
Saw this one coming.
30,000, right? Yes, sir. We'll buy it and do the closing cost as well. And my dad's like, what? So it looks like we have somehow
Double sold a house.
double sold a home.
You'll need to tell that dude that it's sold
Well,
before he tries thinking that he can modify the shit out of the house.
well, luckily nobody has keys to it but us still. And, like, none of the paperwork is finalized, and they know that we have to come back up, like, next week or something like that to finalize the paperwork. But it's still that awkward, like, okay, so we've got two separate parties that want to buy the house.
Dude, that's awkward as fuck. But no, seriously, I would probably tell that dude tomorrow.
Which dude?
Like the dude that's not buying the house.
Which one? Which one isn't buying the home? That's the question. Which one do we actually sell it to?
Oof.
Because neither of them we have started finalized paperwork.
Screw. I mean, I don't know. I mean, you went to a realtor at this point. I would say you guys are in a pretty solid motion with that one dude.
Quite possibly. So one of the things, so we did ask. We are friends with the neighbor that we do know on our left, like, and so it was one of those. We asked him because he met both of them. And, like, he knows the people, our far neighbor from him.
If they're good neighbors.
Yeah, and so we asked him which one, if you had a choice, which one would you rather have living next to you? And he'd rather the Latino descent people living next to him than the other person. And I get it. The other person is it's a home flipper.
Dude, he's not, as I say, he's not gonna be living there. There's no way.
Yeah, he's gonna buy the home, fix it up, and flip it. And my neighbor does not. He doesn't want to trust what's gonna happen to it. Whereas he knows that the Latino people are just going to, like, fix up the home and actually live in it. And I get him. Like, So, me and my father are both in the agreement of, like, we are perfectly fine with selling it to the Latino persuasion family, as long as the kicker is they're willing to pay closing cost. Because the other people are. That's less money out of our pockets. That's the way we're looking at it. Is like we're because technically, and the way that I'm looking at it is when the one gentleman calls me back, that we've already sort of did some paperwork with, we're going to tell him, look, are you going to pay the closing cost? And if he says no, we're going to tell him we do have someone else that is willing to purchase the home and pay the closing cost at the same price. It's your choice. Do you want to purchase the home and pay the closing cost, or not own the home at all?
Yeah.
And it is at that point, that is just it's a money.
Then at that point, it is a bidding war. Well, it's not even a bidding war. It's just we don't want to pay for this. If you can cover this cost, you win.
Yeah.
Just cover the cost that they're willing to cover, because we don't want to pay out of pocket.
Yep. But it is that awkward, like, Jesus, what the hell moment. So as we're getting ready to leave, my dad, we leave that state, and that state has a lottery. Our state does not. So as we're headed home, my dad goes, "Shit, your mother wanted me to buy lottery tickets." And I went, it's probably best that we don't buy lottery tickets. And he goes, "Why do you say that?" I go, "Well, one, you thought you left the keys at home. And then we got lucky as hell that they ended up being in the car." And he goes, "Yeah." And I go, "Two, we were anticipating, like, getting either somebody, like, wanting to haggle and not just pay the price that we've said.
God damn it, I hate this fucking island.
And we ended up with two people that didn't want to haggle. They just wanted to pay the price we wanted. Like, how often do you get that?"
Mm-hmm.
And I'm
Never.
right. And so I'm like, our luck is either A, this is the day you do everything, and, like, you're gonna, you roll the craps and, like, always come out sevens. Or our luck is on the tail end, and no matter what you do, it's gonna be bad.
Yep.
This island. So, I don't know which one we are on, whether it's, like, pure bad luck at this point, which, if it's pure bad luck, we're gonna get shit on in this game. Sorry, that's my fault.
Dude, every freaking island we've had has had a fucking robot right in front of our face.
Oh, I know. But we already have a harpoon rowboat now, because I just replaced our non-harpoon with a harpoon. So yeah, if we get shit on, that's strictly my fault, because I ran my luck out today with doing other shit. And I am sorry.
There's your luck right there, bud.
What? Crustaceans?
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, I can't get up in that tower? Oh no, I can. I can. So yeah, so that's been my Friday.
My cousin came over for a little bit. I haven't seen her in fucking ever.
Oh shit, get back to our ship.
Why? Is it sinking?
It might be. I was going to take a boom barrel over towards the ocean crawlers,
God damn it.
and one of them, I guess, sniped the damn boom barrel. Yeah, because I just got I got a green flame, and I don't know how close I was to our ship. Oh, we're good. We're good. We're good. Thank fucking God.
Dude, I was like really close to the motherfucker too.
It did
Don't wanna
push our
deal with
ship
two
back.
bitches. I don't want to deal with two bitches. I don't want to deal with two bitches.
It did push our ship back, but like, no damage. That's so yeah. So when I called you earlier today, I was gonna talk to you a little bit about that, and then that was about the time that my dad was like, "Oh, I found blah blah blah. I found the keys," and I'm like, okay." So, did you have a good day?
Wasn't too bad. It was busy, but once everything kind of cleared, it was like, dude, okay, so, uh, I'm sure you've heard me bitching about, I've been doing t-shirts for this local golf, mini golf.
Yeah.
Uh, well, I finally got the approval on the second of the third, of 3 shirts. And luckily, like, I got that motherfucker in, ordered, and in as quick as humanly possible, because I was like, I am so sick of these fuckers. So I've got one more fucking shirt for this motherfucker to order. I've got to proof that motherfucker for him and send it out on Monday. And I'm like, that was my last order. I was like, I'm so sick of you, bitch. But he usually only does like one color art. And this time he did like a full 4-color fucking t-shirt.
Huh.
He did like he did like a take on like the Jurassic Park logo. Dude, I have a feeling there's another one on this island.
Do you want to go do it?
Yeah, I hate to say it, but this island's fucking massive.
Whoa! I just had a massive lag spike. Slash, I think I lost internet.
You're still here for me.